I
Oh
was
man.
so uncomfortable with that.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not that type of guy. I don't really like attention like that. But that's why it took me some time to adjust and get used to that. You know what I'm saying? I like it, but on the other hand, I don't really want the spotlight on me like that.
It's an adjustment on both sides. Like not even just going out in public. It's an adjustment when.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Online Marketing Secrets Podcast. I'm your host, Lopez, so like and share the episode. And P.S. by the way, I would appreciate it if you would leave me a 5-star review on iTunes. Tell me what you think. Love it or hate it. I want to hear it. So today I have a special guest. He's an award-winning entrepreneur seen on CNN, Fox, NBC. He's inspired millions of people, educating them with courses. He's a TEDx speaker. He's went from 0 to 3 million in 6 months. He's really killing it out here and making a difference. If you go to Google and Google Runway Billionaire, that's where you find everything about him. He's a marketer, speaker, entrepreneur, family man. My special guest today is Runway Billionaire, aka Maurice Bowman. Welcome to the show. So where you from?
Oh man, fresh out of Philadelphia. Man. Born and raised.
So man, Philly, I've been to Philly a couple times, man. And this was in the 90s. This tough town, man. How was it growing up there?
Man, I mean it's rough. Everything that you hear on I guess social media or the internet is definitely true about Philly. It's definitely a rough town. But I feel like those are the things that why we got so many hustlers and so many great things that come out of Philly, because if you could beat those obstacles and those challenges that happened growing up, then you feel like you can pretty much do it anywhere. That's pretty much what I did, man. I just took that hustle, that grind, those roadblocks that just come up with growing up in, that tough time, and I just applied it to business.
Yeah, because I went to Philly a couple times in the 90s. I had a couple friends that were from Philly at the time, and I like Philly more than New York for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't know, like not to say nothing wrong with my New York people, but I definitely like Philly more than New York. I had read something a while ago. It say Brooklyn got like 1.8 people in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
and Philly only got like 1.6. So they got more people in just in the Brooklyn, like you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean, just in Brooklyn than we got in Philly. So it just show you how big New York really is. Like it's a lot of people in New York.
Yeah. So what made you come online? Because there's a lot of people. Some people come online and but the one thing that I seen that you did, you started doing videos online. So what made you say, hey, I'm gonna start doing videos online? What? Because a lot of people don't like doing videos. They don't like showing their face. They don't like how they look on camera.
Yeah. So to be honest, bro, was like one of my guys had told me to get on Instagram when Instagram first came out, and I was like most people, here we go with another social media platform. I'm like, man, I don't want to get on social media. Like Facebook is cool, but at the time I was a tattoo artist, and I was like, oh no, people need to see pictures of my artwork, because I always believed in online. I believed that online was going to be the thing that was going to push the business higher. I'm like, yo, if I could reach people locally, imagine if I can put a picture online and somebody from Charlotte can see it, somebody from Texas can see it, Atlanta, you know what I mean? So I really I committed to doing it online, and the response that I got was amazing. So then everybody, like all of my friends and stuff, was like, yo, you real good at this marketing thing. Like, you real good on, driving people to, getting your appointments booked up. And me, I'm just like, yo, I'm just running my business. Like, this is how I make my money. I wasn't looking at it as a perspective like, yo, I was good at marketing, or I was good at, the aesthetics of an Instagram. I ain't know what none. I was just like, look, I just know that I'm putting up this post and people is coming to book me and putting money in my hand for doing my service. So enough people started to say that, and the button kind of just went off and was like, well, maybe I got something. But you know how most people feel like, all right, maybe I got something, but this is not something that everybody want. I had some friends that was on an online space that wanted to know how to market their business and just believed in what I knew, my knowledge about the business. They wanted me to apply it to their business. So I started working with some of my friends who was already on the online space. And I saw one of my friends, I helped them make $20,000 one week. I helped another friend make $10,000 in a few days. And I was like, and maybe I'm in the wrong business or something, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm in the wrong business, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to see somebody make $20,000 from a webinar in one day, or $10,000 in a couple of days from something that you just taught them, and you not making that type of money. Now, I was making good money as a tattoo artist. I was making $500 to $1,000 a day. So I was making good money. I'm not going to say like that I wasn't. But again, when we talking about, $15,000, $20,000 for just sitting down for 90 minutes on a webinar, that really had me intrigued. So then I went through, the analysis paralysis, all of the mental things that we go through as people. And I was like, man, I don't know. I got facial tattoos. People not going to take me serious. And, I went through that whole thing. And then what made me realize this is, like, I always tell people, like, don't look at what you don't have going for you. Look at what you have going for you. Every time that I stepped out the door, I go to the mall, whether it's with my kids or wherever I go, it's people always staring at me. You know what I mean? And again, this is my everyday wardrobe, but people looking at me because they like, yo, who's this dude with this facial tattoos? They probably think I'm a musician, probably think I play ball. They probably think I'm a rapper, and they think I'm something. Yeah. So the light bulb went off, and I was like, yo, I can use that to my advantage. So I actually use me having tattoos and being able to speak in layman's terms to be able to, talk to my people the way that we need to be talked to as an asset as opposed to a disability. So when it came to getting online, I was like, yo, let me see what happens if I show up as my authentic self, how people respond to it. And what happened was, bro, it was something called shock value. I started talking about, I started talking about credit. I started talking about marketing, and I wasn't talking about it in the aspect that everybody else was talking about it. I was talking about it the way that I do it, the way that I understood it. And when I opened my mouth and how I looked, it almost was like, hold up. Like, I know dude about to spit a flow. I know he about to say something crazy. Just looking at me, their first impression is going to be like, no, bro, about to say something crazy. But when I open my mouth, they're like, oh, he sound like what he talking about. So I actually think that shock value actually brought more clients and more attraction to me because it wasn't normal to what they usually saw. And then we had a whole bunch of videos just, blow up, go viral, get a whole bunch of attention. And I was just like, well, I can't stop now. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep it going. So that's pretty much how that happened.
So how long you been a tattoo artist before you came online?
I did that for 15 years. And bro, to be honest, the reason why I went from the brick and mortar to the click and order, the reason why I went online is not only because of the money, right? Like, I know I'll say, like, I helped my friend make 20,000 in one day, helped my other friend make 10,000 a couple of days. It wasn't just the money. It was more so the opportunity of me having more freedom and more mobility, because I spent 15 years behind a chair, but that also was 15 years of grinding, dedication, late nights, early mornings, spending a lot of time from family, all of those things. It was a lot of sacrifices. So for me, being online was like, dang, like this is the time that I actually get to sit down, shoot a podcast. Wouldn't have had the time to do this because I would have been still behind the chair. So that freedom and that mobility that came with it was what I was more so intrigued in than anything.
So how did you have the confidence that you could even help somebody? Because it's one thing for you to do it and get results.
Yeah.
How do you know that, hey man, I can help somebody else do this too? How did you have the confidence to even do that?
Well, they kept asking me how, and just like my personality. And again, when we talk about Philly, where you come from, I always move with the it's now or never. Like I'm the type of person, I have to at least attempt to do it and know that it didn't work, than to live with the regret of me not attempting to see what could have been. So for me, what really gave me the confidence was, of course, getting the results for my friends, but I didn't have the results for myself yet. I had the results of what I help other people do. So I was like, if I can get these results for myself, I really could blow this out the water. And what it took me a while because I didn't have my own product. So what happened was I started listening to all of the things that people start asking me, how you do this, how you do that, how you do this. And a lot of people was asking me this for years. They was asking me like, how did you start these businesses? How did you do this? How did you do that? And I'm like, me, I'm just the type of person like, I'm in the trenches. I'm doing the work. I'm learning. I'm educating myself. I'm testing it out. And I really just took the common hows that people was asking me, and that question mark at the end of how, I knew that it was a dollar sign. So I just took I took the hows, I turned it into a product so that way I could sell it to people at one time. I used the methods that I was helping other people make money, and I just made the how my product. And that's really what it was. I'm like, I did all the results. I just need to find my product, because I know if I could do it for them, I could do it for myself. I just need the product. So I took the hows that everybody was asking me and I turned it into a product and just used the methods and the marketing that I helped everybody else with.
That's good, man. So how did you know how to create the product? Was it a book, a digital product, or what?
Yes. Yeah. So again, they were already pretty much in the digital space. So I'm like, okay, cool. I got something that I do called beta mode, where it's basically like you get paid to practice. So a lot of times, we want to create the best course, the best ebook, the best program right off the gate. And sometimes it just don't happen like that. It's just not realistic, right? Like you got to get the feedback. You're going to have to tweak it. So like, why not be able to tweak it like live? Like if I do a session and I know somebody that needs help with going from A to Z, let's just use credit, for example. If I know that your credit is not the best, but you want to have a 700 credit score, okay, cool. What's your goal, right? You had collections, you got a repossession, you got a charge off, right? Let me just take you through all the steps and just show you everything that you need to look for to prepare you to get in position, what the letters need to look like. So I'm going to take you through this whole thing. Is it going to be perfect? No. But after we get done session 1, let's just say it was broken down in 4 sessions. After we get done session 1, I can ask you for your feedback on session 1. What do you think that I should have covered? How was it, right? Could you see this working for you, right? And then I can get live feedback from those people who I'm helping, and I can make it better. I could go back and I say, okay, cool. I need to include this in session 1. And I'll go through the whole session like that. So now people are getting live feedback. I'm getting live feedback. And the next time that I do this thing, I'm knocking it out the park. So I got paid to practice. So what I'll essentially do is I'll go on Instagram and I'll say, hey, I want to help 5 people achieve X, Y, and Z, whatever the result is, whatever you teach in your niche. And I'll call 5 people out. And then I'll have those people either email me, I'll have them DM me on social media. And then I'll say, hey, look, usually I'll do this for X amount of dollars. But today I'm doing this because this is a new program I'm launching and I want to give you first you know what I mean? The first access to it is something new. I never taught this before. So I want to give these first 5 people exclusive access to be able to build this out. Y'all going to be in a beta test mode. So instead of charging you the original price of $2,000, $5,000, I'm going to charge you $1,000 today. And then people like, all right, bet, because they're getting a huge discount, but I'm also getting paid to practice. So I'm discounting my price that I'm normally going to charge later, but I'm getting these beta test people. I'm getting paid to basically make my program better. Just like people pay for surveys. They say, hey, you take a 30-minute survey, we'll pay you this. But the only thing is these people and these prospects are helping me build my program or my coaching program out, and I got paid to do it.
That's good, man. So you basically testing everything before you do a full rollout.
Absolutely. We gotta make sure this thing can be profitable before we go put, a whole lot of marketing and time and effort. This is why I see people launch stuff online and they are not really successful with it because they didn't validate the offer yet. They didn't know this is what people want. They didn't really be able to touch all the pain points. They didn't be able to craft it the right way to be able to support the person going through the process. I'll know by a call 2. If I'm doing 4 calls, I'll know by a call 2 at least halfway through my program what I gotta fix and what I gotta tighten up. Yeah. But I got paid to do it. So now guess what? If it's something that I need to outsource or something that I need to hire somebody to come in and do, I got the money to do it. I don't gotta fund it out my own pocket. So I just think that's one of the best ways to do it. And where I got that concept from was really just Apple. I watched I studied a lot of Apple as the company, right? In 2018 and before, 90% of revenue came from Apple's live event. So you gotta think Apple's $1 billion company, right? 90% of their revenue came from a live event. So I'm all right, I know webinars and I know live events work. So I know I need to be doing these webinars. I know I need to be getting in front of people. But also, what did they do? They pre-sold the iPhone. Yep. They didn't sell you an iPhone that was finished. They sold you a pre-sale. So people spent their money. They took that money, they put it in production, and then they sent you the iPhone when it was done. So they got paid up front, got it manufactured, got it put together, sent it to you. And then after 2018, it dropped down to about 60% of their revenue. So I'm looking at it $1 billion company, more than half of their revenue is coming from a live event. Guess what we doing? Live events, and we doing beta tests.
Yeah, I think Apple was probably the first, if not one of the first companies that to launch products like that.
Yep, and they've been doing it for forever. And again, I don't think when he launched the first product, he thought it's gonna go like that. But it's saying if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If a good portion of our revenue is coming from this one launch, if 60% of our revenue throughout the year is coming from this one launch, we're gonna do the launch every single year. Every single time. Every single time.
Yeah. So when you're out and about, and I know people see you, right? And I know in the beginning, it took you some time to get used to that. How does that feel?
Yo, you know what? It's crazy because you never know what impact you have on people. Yeah. You never really know because it's you got the people that be hey bro, they'll comment, they'll DM you, they'll email you. And some people don't like to express, they don't like to put their business out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was in the credit space, I helped people get, 30, 40, $50,000. That's life-changing money for some people. Yeah. That probably never had it. They probably could have done some things and put themselves in position. So not everybody want to be all on social media or in my DM saying, hey, bro, you helped me get 40, 50,000. But when they see me out in person, it's oh my God, yo, bro, you did. I'm whoa, I wasn't expecting that. So it does take some time to get used to because I'm runway to the world. But to my kids and my wife, I'm dad, I'm husband. So, and not to say that I'm no different, it's just that my attention is different. So when I'm out, I'm like more reserved, I'm chilling, I'm private. When it's time to go to work, I'm in work mode. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes it required me to be out of family mode, and then I got to jump in work mode real fast. And that's an adjustment. That's an adjustment.
Yeah.
For so many reasons. Some of them is just like, you don't know what people's intention is. Social media could be a good way to, put yourself out there, but it also could be dangerous because you never know what other people see and what their intentions is. So it's definitely adjustment. You definitely have to, move a little different. You gotta, you gotta circle the parking lot, make sure, it's you gotta move accordingly, but it's definitely adjustment, man. But I love being out and seeing people that I help though. Like that's like a feeling that like money can't even measure, because you see somebody and like I legit, bro, I had times where people that had tears in their eyes because they like, yo, you don't even know what you did for me. And that's the thing that really makes me go market every single day, is because it's like, dang, man, I'm helping people in a way that I wish I had the opportunities to. But really, people see the information and then they not playing with it. They executing on it and they getting results.
Yeah, man. It was a weird, because when I first came online, I did videos. That was the first thing I did, because I didn't have any money to market and do anything else.
Yeah.
And after about 3 years, I used to go places. I used to just travel and drive around like normal or whatever. But like I used to go to like the mall or at certain hotels, and some people will stare at you.
Yeah,
but they ain't gonna say anything. They'll be like, all right. They'll be like, oh, okay. That's and then you got some people that will lose it.
They lose their mind.
It took me some time to get used to that, because I'm not the type of person. I don't really like a lot of attention. I'm not that type of. I'm not that type of dude. Yeah, I'm like. I'd rather stay in the background and y'all get all the attention. I'm not really that type of dude, And I kind of grew up like that. I think I remember one time my mom had a surprise party for me. I was so uncomfortable with that.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not that type of guy. I don't really like attention like that. But that's why it took me some time to adjust and get used to that. You know what I'm saying? I like it. But on the other hand, I don't really want the spotlight on me like that.
It's an adjustment on both sides. Like not even just going out in public. It's an adjustment when you're around your family, and your friends as well, because with a certain level of success, it requires you to, of course, change and grow and develop as a person in so many ways. And sometimes our family and our friends don't understand that. So they have conversations with us and they have dialogue with us like, hey, bro, look, we going out to this spot. I'm going, we're going to meet up with these shorties. And it's like, bro, I'm married now. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. Or, like, I don't like the club. Like, you get what I'm saying? I never liked the club. It's just that when we was young, that was just a thing to do, but that's not the thing that I do anymore. So I think like it's an adjustment on both sides, because your friends and your family, your friends and your family are.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Are you tired of struggling online, not getting the results you want? Maybe you just need some help. If that's the case, go to kingofcashflowwebsites.com/secrets. And the best part about it, you can learn from the best of the best. You can learn from some of the best marketers in the world. Plus, it's absolutely free. It's absolutely free. So don't wait on this. Go to kingofcashflowwebsites.com/secrets. Back to our Red Schedule program.
It's just an adjustment, man, because they only see you that one way. They don't see this new version of you. They don't see this, this next level of you. And I think that's probably has been like the biggest adjustment for me as well. Just like, just being around family and they like, man. And I'm like, like, yo, let's play cards and stuff. Like, let's like,
you know what? You know what's crazy? My family, my brothers and sisters, and even my parents, when they were living, they did not understand what I was doing.
Yeah,
they don't get it.
Yeah,
now they'll see me, they'll see or hear something, and they're like, I don't know what I know he wrote a book or something, but I don't know what.
yeah.
They don't understand how it works.
Yeah,
they don't really get. They don't really have anything negative. They don't say anything negative, but it's kind of like they'd be like, "Oh, okay, I see. He wrote something to somebody. He met somebody when we were together. I don't know what he's doing, but
I remember one time, like I had put up a post and one of my aunts was arguing with one of the people in the comments, and I was like, "Yo," I was like, "Auntie, don't do that." And she like, she was like, I was like, "Don't do that." She's like, "No, they ain't gonna be talking about my nephew." And I'm like, "Auntie, it's just trolls. Like that's what they do." Yeah. But she couldn't understand. And I remember like we had like a real big month in business, and this was like my first time like having like a 6-figure month. And I told my grandmama about it, and she was like, "Doing what? Like what? Like she's like, doing what? Like selling what?" Like she thought like, you know what I'm saying? Like I had, you know, turned back to what people do in the street.
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, grandma, like this all legit." And she like, "No, you gotta explain this to me." Like she almost like was like thought I was on the verge to going to jail or scamming or, you know what I'm saying, doing something. I was like, "Nah, grandma, I'm like, this is what I'm doing. Like, you know, this is from courses and coaching and information." And she was like, "People buying?" Like it just didn't register for her.
Different way of earning. They don't understand. They like I remember when I told my mom that I made $97 while I was asleep. And she's like, "What? How did that happen?" I said, somebody went to one of my videos.
Yep.
And at the end of the video, I told them to click the link below and get started. And they bought it. And when I woke up, the money was in my PayPal account.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Okay, keep doing it, honey."
That's how it goes.
Yeah. So it's just it's a different way of earning, a different way of looking at things. And you know, they never done it before. Not most, you know, for the most part, you know, because there wasn't no internet when they were growing up.
Yeah, it wasn't none of that. And you know, it's like a bittersweet feeling because you like you know the opportunities that our parents and our uncles and aunts didn't necessarily have, and now we have this opportunity in front of us to be able to monetize it. And again, going back, that was one of the reasons why I got into the digital space, why I got into marketing, because I'm like, yo, this is a new earning opportunity where you could kind of write your own paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a new earning opportunity where it allow you more freedom and more mobility, right? Like, and then when I look at a lot of things that people invest in, like whether it's real estate, whether it's trading stocks, whether it's all of these things, trucking, like, yo, you can't lose with marketing because there's really no loss, right? It's just like real estate. I do real estate, money is tied up in deals, relying on contractors. Like it's a lot that go into it. You know what I mean? Truck breakdown, gas fuel is up, freight prices is not the same. You get what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of stuff. But when we talk about marketing and we talking about the online space, it's an opportunity for you to have higher profit margins because one, everything is digital. It's like really no fulfillment. And then two, right, a lot of the stuff you create in one time and then you getting paid over and over and over again. And it's just like, it's really no risk because it doesn't involve, any of the other people to make the show run. Like my first $1 million I made it with me and the virtual assistant from the Philippines. And it was just like, what did you do? And I was just like, I just worked the strategy and it was just me and one other person. And, I tell people that all the time. It's just like, people are so scared to really get into the space. I don't know what to sell. I don't know how to sell. don't use that as an excuse. Like, learn it, because it's a valuable tool set that will allow you to make an amazing amount of money, amazing income, and also have an amazing life without the risk that's associated.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel like they got to have all the answers in the beginning. You're not.
Yeah.
Nobody starts off like that. I remember what before I came online, I was doing marketing offline. I used to place ads in magazine. You had to pay $3,000-4,000 for 30 days.
Yeah.
And then I would see if it worked. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. If it didn't work, I had to make changes. You know what I'm saying? But coming online, you can see if it's working the first day. You know what I'm saying? And plus, if it ain't working, you can change it, adjust, or shut it down and come out with a whole new strategy.
Yeah, for sure. I've done that, man. Like, I've done guerrilla marketing out in the streets, passing out flyers. I've done, we put our
all this stuff.
Yeah, we put our billboard on buses. Like, we did 10 buses. They drive around the city with our stuff on it. Like, I've done all of that, and you are now in an opportunity where you can put up a video. You can either boost it on Instagram, or you could run it right to the people who you want to see it. Like, when I was doing those advertisements on those buses, I didn't know who was going to see it, nor could I control it. Now we could control who sees it. It's like, what? I'll be crazy to spend the money to go do those things. Even though some of those things are still effective, I just feel like they're effective for certain type of industries. Yeah. Right? Like movies, like the poster that you got in the background, like the movie. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's certain places that you put those things to make it. But man, when we talk about online, that's where you need to be at.
Exactly. So who's your ideal prospect, people that you normally work with?
So it's funny that you say that, because when I got into marketing and really started to learn and, get a mentor and really started to open up books and really learn how other people was doing marketing and what's the standard of how marketing is supposed to be. They always oh yeah, you got to find your niche. You got to niche down and all that stuff. And what it really came down to for me, my philosophy, I need to serve people at 3 different levels. I need to be able to serve people who are just getting started and want to know where to start, right? I need to serve the people who are already making a little bit of money, but they stuck where they are and they want to go to the next level. And then I need to know somebody who I really don't have the time, right, to be learning this stuff. I need it done for me. So that's what really has made my business successful, especially in the times where where you got to pivot. So just imagine a lot of businesses, especially when it comes to marketing or agencies or products, it's going to be a time in your business where you have to pivot. It's going to be a time where, everybody don't have as much money as they had in the economy. So they're holding on, to a lot of their money for reserve and, just to have a cushion. So your high ticket offer might not necessarily be selling as much as it used to. How are you going to make money? You got to have other offers. So you might have a mid ticket, you might have a low ticket, right? And what I realized is that I left a lot of money on the table. To be specific, if I could put a number on it, it was $8 million that I left on the table by not having a high ticket offer, right? So me, I left a lot of money on the table by not having this 3 system. So I help people who want to get started. I got various products for them that they could go tap into so they could learn, product creation, small marketing tactics, and boom, so they could go ahead and get their money on. Then once you get to a certain level and you I'm already making this type of money. Okay, cool, but I'm stuck here and I need the tools and the resources to go to the next level. This is for you. And then I got people who got more money than they got time and they want to scale up, but they I don't really have a proper infrastructure to support it. Me and my team, we come in and we built it for them so that way they can scale. So yeah, bro, I got a various people that I serve because I just think that that's the best way to help people, is just to be able to have a pivot in your own business where you can go low to high or high to low, and then being able to serve people at different points throughout the customer journey.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, man. A lot of times the reason why we don't have high ticket products in the beginning is because a lot of times we don't believe that people are willing to pay.
Yeah. Facts. No, it's no lie, and it's not just the fact that we don't believe that the people will pay. We also don't believe that what we teach is worth the value. We always questioning our value, like how do I establish value that my value is worth 5,000? And then we start looking at all the things that we think that qualify us for our price to be 5,000 to 10,000. We say, well, I ain't even got 5,000 followers. I can't charge 5K. We start we start looking at all those things. I ain't even help nobody make 5,000. I can't charge 5K. We start looking at all of those things, and then we take out the most important aspect. The thing that we really charge for is our time.
Exactly.
We that's the most important thing. Like, you got two things, your expertise and your time. The expertise is going to allow you to cut down the time and do your job a lot faster. But if I'm not experienced and I have to take my time, I got to spend my time making sure that I can give you the results. And that's the thing that we always short ourselves on. And, I tell people all the time, this is a little strategy that I do to like help me establish the value. Is I always think of things, and this is going back to the 3-tier system. I always think of things in threes, right? Like, I got my low ticket, my mid ticket, and high ticket. Every person that I talk to is going to fall in one of those categories. It's just up to you and your budget where you fall and where you see yourself at, right? Like, and that's the thing about having those tiers. It's like letting a person choose where they see themselves at and where they want to be. You get what I'm saying? And then also on top of that, all of the stuff is the same. Like the high ticket, the mid ticket, and the low ticket, all of it is the same. It's just the format is different. So my low ticket might be an ebook or something like that, a lead magnet, something very small, an introductory or something you to get into to get you a quick result. Then my mid ticket might be a course, mini training, step-by-step guide on how to, something that's actionable where I'm showing you. And then my high ticket might be the same thing, but I'm just doing it with you. So it's the same exact thing. It's just the format is different. The ebook you're gonna read on your own, right? It's low ticket. It's the videos is the mid ticket. I'm just naturally going to expand on more because it's in a different format. It's video, but you're still gonna watch it on your own. But because it's video, it's more valuable now. And then a high ticket is, okay, now I got to spend my physical time doing it with you. So now it becomes, I got to charge more for it. So now it's just about you just figuring out like, okay, what's this price going to be? What's this price going to be? And what this price going to be? This just has to be a higher price. So, I feel like that's a good way to establish the value when you kind of questioning yourself.
Yeah. It's like, I always looked at it like, man, it took me a long time to learn this. Yeah. And then I put in the time and how much long it's going to take me, Yeah. So, but it took me some time to have the confidence, like, hey, it's worth it. I'm worth it.
Yeah. To just say the price.
Yeah.
And I always look at it like, if I have a conversation with somebody or I get a client that's interested in the service and the price is not for them, and I don't, and that person necessarily don't go with me as a person to do the business with for whatever reason, it's 100% okay. Like that was a customer that I had interested in my business. They just didn't feel like the price was appropriate. So we always can, come back. They might do business with me later. They might go shop around and hear somebody else higher and not offering what I'm offering. So it's other ways around it. I'll say to say this though. I'll say that to say this. Like, you can't count money that you didn't have in your business. And if you get the opportunity to talk to somebody, then guess what? That's an opportunity where you get to learn. You get to learn about your price. You get to learn about what that person is really, really looking for. And then you go back and you kind of like craft your offer better. So that way you can, say your price. But sometimes you got to let your price be your price. Don't undervalue yourself because you want to get a client. Because every time that I've done that, the clients that I had was always the worst clients. And I'm going to tell y'all, clients get fired too. Clients get fired too now. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to, hey, listen, I really appreciate it. This engagement is, this engagement is a little bit out of the scope of work that I'm used to. and instead of providing you with service like lower than what I normally evaluate, I'd rather just give you a refund.
Yeah.
And I've done it. And I've done it. And again, you start to spot those red flags, and you get a deeper appreciation for coaching, and you'll understand, like, wait a minute, everybody is not my client. I don't have to accept everybody money. My clients can only pay me happy, can only pay me in full. And when you adopt that different type of mindset, it just comes from knowing that you're going to spend your time appropriately and knowing that you're going to get your client results. So yes, you do get confident the more clients that you get, but I need you to understand that the no is more powerful than the yes.
Yeah. Usually the more people pay, the more people pay attention.
That's it.
And no don't mean no forever.
Yeah. It's opportunity.
Yeah. And plus, the more they pay, the less friction.
Yep.
You know, it seems like the more the more people pay, they'd be like, they're more in tune to listen, and they'll be like, okay, I'll do it, whatever. Yep. They'll hold themselves more accountable.
For sure, man. Yeah. And again, that's why I like having those 3 tiers, because you'll have a person who's just like, just give me the stuff, I'll go do it by myself. Like, that's what type of person they are. And then you got the other person who's like, I need somebody to show me exactly how to do it, and I'm gonna be optimistic, but that's the best way that I'll learn. So I feel like that's why you have to have those 3 tiers and why it's important.
Yeah. So if people wanted to follow you and work with you, where would they go to?
They'll go to my Instagram.com/runway_billionaire. Y'all can follow me on Instagram. That's where I spend most of my time, where I post most of my content, where I do most of my lives. I do free trainings every single month, so y'all can tap in, so y'all can get the game. I put out a lot of content that just help y'all go to the next level, whether it's your marketing, your mindset, or your money. So y'all can follow me.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Like, share this episode. All links will be found in the show notes. We out. Peace.
Peace.